Please, Pokemon Company, please, I'm begging you, please, help us out. Hey, I'm going to be reacting to this PokeNe video about selling Journey Together at MSRP and it not being worth it. I'm going to give you my thoughts as a store owner who also just went through the Journey Together release. I just want to get my thoughts out there and try to refocus some of all of our emotions towards Pokemon Company. Towards the Pokemon Company, yes? To briefly recap, PokeNe is an online seller of Pokemon out of a basement in Nebraska, as he famously always says. He made a huge noise email marketing campaign about selling Journey Together at MSRP, which is like 162. It's some goofy number in the low 160s. And it was this huge hubbub. Made a bunch of videos in the lead up. It was like, oh my God, we've got all these email signups, not enough of the boxes to go around. And he just made his sort of debrief video saying, that was terrible. Everyone is mad. Everyone's pissed at me for the website not working. They're accusing me of not, scamming them or whatever. You backdoored everything. You didn't have enough, blah, 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 blah. And he said in his video, that was not worth it. That was a net loss to my brand, to my business. I could have just sold for more. There would have been less headache. I guess I just want to react to that. As a store who is also struggling with sort of how to handle the market right now, I should put my cards on the table. What we did for Journey Together is we sold at what we call keystone markup. That's a retail term for double the cost. Most MSRPs in our industry, but also really just a lot of retail industries, MSRPs are calculated at double cost, keystone. So any board game in my shop, role-playing games, etc., $20 MSRP costs me $10. Okay? Pokemon and other TCGs are not like that. The MSRPs are artificially discounted about 20%. So for example, an ETB MSRP is for $50. Now, if an MSRP for a board game was $50, I would pay $25. Not so with Pokemon. The wholesale cost of a Pokemon ETB for a store is about $30. Sometimes it's like 31, depending on your distributor. So what I do when the market's crazy is I just set it to keystone. I set it to what the MSRP should be. So the ETB was $60. That's what I sold at. The booster boxes were $180. They wholesale cost us between $90 and $95, depending on your distributor. So keystone markup would be $180. Okay, that's what I did. Cards on the table. Pitchforks if you want. To me, that's fair. I'm making good money. It's a healthy, normal margin. It's still way under market. So my customers are happy. I'm happy. And as a store, I don't think I can ever complain about doubling my money. I see these big online guys with YouTube platforms specifically, I think, try and do something good and help out the community because they have a community, they have a big following, right? That makes sense. But it's looking more and more like it's just kind of not worth it. The situation with PokeNe's video sort of illustrates how, and this is the title, was it his thumbnail or his title? He said, it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. And that's so true. Stores that are charging market rates are, oh, you're price gouging, you're getting 1-star reviews, blah, blah, blah. But even if you try and be a hero and sell at MSRP, there's not enough to go around. Then everyone gets mad anyways. Because then you just FOMO'd a bunch of people. People are like, I missed out on the deal. And that sucks, right? That feels bad for a ton of the consumers. And you made less money. And I want to sort of take that as an illustration of there's really no good way to, there's not a great way to handle this as a store. And everybody's mad. We're mad. I'm kind of mad. I want to try and take a lot of this sentiment that's happening between stores and customers and try and point it over to the Pokemon Company for two reasons. I think the Pokemon Company, obviously they need to print more. Now, it's very easy to be like, oh, just print more Pokemon. It's complicated. It takes a couple months to do the print timings. It's all, I get it, okay? But they should be more transparent and informative about supply timelines, right? We've gotten a couple announcements from Pokemon, like 3 different announcements this year that basically just amount to, we're totally gonna make more available, guys. Promise. When? When can we expect that? Even give us a Q2, early Q2. You don't have to say on this date, because yeah, everyone, if you miss the date, everyone's gonna be mad, right? So you don't even have to be super specific, but just a little more transparency. We're reprinting these sets. You can expect them to hit in early Q2, something like that. Outside of just really pretty vanilla announcements of like, we're working on it. Like that doesn't help anyone, honestly. People come into my store every day and they call me every day and they say, bro, when are you getting more? When are you getting more? When is a restock happening? And I can't say anything. I don't know. We don't have any information when the restocks hit. We are told like sometimes just days in advance, and we don't even know the pricing. This is my next point. So I can't tell you anything. I just want to be able to say anything. Yeah, Twilight Masquerade is getting a reprint, and it's expected to hit in early Q2. Wouldn't that feel better for you and me? I could just say something to you, right? And you can be like, okay, cool, Twilight Masquerade in Q2. It gives you a little more information as a consumer. I shouldn't pay super high prices for Twilight Masquerade right now. It's going to drop a little bit. Q2, maybe I'll keep an eye out. You just have more information. It would just be so much better. And you could still be generic with that. All right, I'm gonna stop. The other thing is, this is obviously legally complicated, but there should be more oversight of the distributors. Oh my God. It's so frustrating to have to go through these wholesale distributors to get Pokemon. We cannot get Pokemon directly from the Pokemon company. We must use these wholesale distributors, and they are gating this product at, frankly, pretty close to market rate. For example, there was a post on the Pokemon subreddit, and it was a picture of a store selling 151 bundles, the 6-pack bundles, for $70. And the title was like, I'm never coming to the store again. And all the comments were like, fuck that guy, price gouger, can't believe it, leave it a 1-star review, never go back, blah, blah, blah. And I'm reading through these comments, and I was like, oh my God, we got offered the restock of these bundles at $60. I'm looking at that store going, they marked it up $10 a pop. That's not, that's not even, as a percentage, it's not even a very good margin. And they're getting raked. They're getting raked over the coals. And that sucks. And I feel like there should be a little more oversight from Pokemon on these distributors. And I'm just talking about hobby distributors, not even to mention MJ Holdings with all the big box stuff, because that's a nightmare. Jesus. We are getting this stuff at close to market rate. Sometimes we get it for 20% less than market. So what? So we get to sell for market. So it sucks because the distributors get to net that delta, and they're not even customer facing. They're not dealing with the heat. They're behind the scenes. We have to explain to you, the market's crazy. We have to pay a premium for this stuff, blah, blah, blah. We get the 1-star reviews. We get the angry comments. And the distributors are the one making all the money anyways. It's really frustrating. And the thing that really sets me off is on release, the official release, distributors are not allowed to charge market rate. They have their pricing all fixed. They cannot charge us market rate. So on release, we get it for the normal rate. And then any subsequent restocks are always at market rate, which leads us to the conspiracy of the distributors holding stuff to restock it a couple weeks later at the market rate, blah, blah, blah. It's like, I don't even want to comment on. But clearly, there is a mechanism in place to disallow distributors to control supply at market rates. It exists. And I don't know if this is coming from, I've never worked for a distributor. I'm not privy to their contract details. I don't know, right? I'm just I'm intuiting the situation. There is a mechanism in place to not allow distributors to sell at market rate on release. That's what happens. Every single release, they're not allowed to do it. But every restock, somehow, the 151 bundles cost us $60 a pop. So we sell at $70 to make a tenner per bundle, and then we get destroyed online. That sucks. That sucks. I don't even want to be like, oh, the distributors suck. The distributors are making money. And if they didn't sell it to me for $6 a pop, they would backdoor it on their eBay burner, right, for the full market rate. So I don't want to complain too much because it's really Pokemon's fault. It's still, I think, Pokemon's fault. That lays at the feet of Pokemon for not having the oversight. I want to be super clear. This is from someone who does not know. I don't know the back-end business details of these distributor Pokemon manufacturer relationships. I could sound like the most naive idiot, but just intuiting the situation, looking at it from a store's perspective, it seems that there should be more oversight on the distributors. I'm really glad that Brian made that video because it was really clear, it was very concise, and he just said it, man, and I was like, yep. Seems like it was probably a huge mess, and you could have just made more money. And he says this in the video. He says, I would have made way more money, selling at the market rate, and I probably would have had less people mad. So all that's to say, there's a lot of anger in the market. It sucks. I think to some degree, stores are having to take it. And as a store, obviously, I feel like that sucks. But also, I don't want to complain too much because, at the end of the day, we're making money. So, that's cool. It's fun to make money on Pokemon. I'm paying my rent on Pokemon. All right? I'm not going to complain too much. It's good for us. But really, at the end of the day, it's a Pokemon company that needs to be, that needs to print more, but needs to be transparent about what are we printing, what's our timeline, here's what you can expect. We don't have any of that. They don't send those communiques to consumers, they don't send it to distributors, they don't send it to stores. Nobody knows anything, which is very, very frustrating and I think ultimately bad. And they need to have more oversight on the distributors. So please, Pokemon Company, please, I'm begging you, please help us out. Please. Okay, bye.